Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, I have a lot of interesting things to share with you guys. And as promised, I finally got the video done, at least to where I feel it's suitable for presentation purposes. I've been talking about this for 2 or 3 days now, and I think you're going to find it quite fascinating. Something that was seen in the sky above Alaska, and then 3 days later, it was seen above Oklahoma. Hey, what's up, guys? Good to see you. DJ German, The Reality by J Rocks, Lee Live, Luke, Kim, JB, Papa, Christopher. What's going on, guys? Pat Medic. I think Pat Medic's from Pennsylvania, if I remember correctly. What's going on, guys? What's happening? Goose Fix, Larry's Productions LLC. What is up, guys? Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a excellent 2024, grand entrance to 2024. We made it, huh? Another year. All right. What you're looking at, obviously, is the Earth. And there have been a few people in the comment section mention something going on at the top of the Earth. And I've been watching this at the top of the Earth. And the reason I watch this is because, especially in the wintertime, is because this determines what kind of winter we're going to have in the Northern Hemisphere. What's going on, Jules? Sachi, American Drew, Mark, Forrest Ray, Jason. What's going on, guys? So I give you guys a shout out. I've got some new shout outs to give today of new star members, new star family members. If you guys would like to become a star family member, you can do so by clicking on the link down below in the description box. Derek City, Happy New Year, Cody Man, Vaughn, Cody and Vaughn. Hi from South Carolina. What's up? Mountain Wolf in South Carolina. Terrestrial. What's up, Terrestrial? Terrestrial is a star family member. It says the stream's current bit rate is 2577.3. I'm just seeing something up here. It says it's lower than the recommended bit rate. I don't know what that means, but something just popped up over here. But anyway, lots of cool stuff to share with you guys in this video. Hey, Radisab Bolodovic, love your channel. Keep it up. Thank you, Radisab. I appreciate that. That's very kind for the super chat. Get super chats every once in a while, Radisab. Just the super chat, when you guys give a super chat, it lights up like his was bright green. You can't miss it, you know. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Hello, my friends from Anderson, Missouri. What you're looking at here, guys, this is one of the things that we're going to talk about in the video. This is obviously the top of the Earth, the Arctic Circle. Doesn't normally look like this, right? I'll explain why it looks like this and what this means and what it will probably mean in the coming days for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere that experience the winter months, the four seasons. Out here in Arizona, we don't really experience four seasons, obviously, but it does get cool. Today, I think it was, I honestly don't know. I'll have to look. It's decent outside. Let me see. But it doesn't get cold. Right now, it's 64 degrees. But you get up above the 40-degree latitude, what's happening right here can definitely influence people that live in the cold, where it gets really, really cold in the wintertime. And I'll explain what that means here in a minute, what it could potentially mean. More donuts. Ocean breathes salty. Adam Dennis from Oklahoma. We saw donuts yesterday from the International Space Station. Yeah, really cool stuff. Pat Medic Jan, snow. Yeah, snow and cold. Oh, here comes the cold, right? Greetings from, I got this thing moved over way too far. Hang on just a sec. Greetings from Las Vegas. I got videos. Not today. Let me see. Not from Las Vegas. I had our video yesterday from Las Vegas. I have a video from Las Vegas that I'm going to share with you guys in a day or two. I'm still working on it. Really cool. Young lady filmed something in the sky above Las Vegas that looked completely out of place. I'm going to show you guys some drones in this video, some really cool drones. You're going to see some weird snow. In case you guys have ever seen snow that didn't really look like a snowflake, there's an explanation for that, believe it or not. I got a close-up view of a really cool jet. Oh my, it's not just any ordinary jet. Then obviously the situation over in Japan that you guys are, fully aware of. I did a video this morning about the situation of the airplane that was simply making a routine landing in Tokyo. I mean, the new year hasn't started off well for Japan. The big earthquake, tsunami, and now this. The very next day, plane making a routine landing, just coming in like they do hundreds of times a day at this airport in Tokyo. Clips a Coast Guard plane that was sitting on the tarmac. What? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm right over here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. I have a flight radar. I have it on all the time on a monitor back there, and you could tell a lot about what's going on with in around the world by watching flight radar. When airplanes change their flight pattern, and if they're going around a specific area, all of them are, then you know that there's something going on in that specific area, or there's very strong inclement weather in the upper atmosphere of the Earth, and they're flying around that. So if you follow the planes, sometimes you can learn something. You can pick up a bit of information from that. I see planes land and take off from Tokyo all the time. Never seen one clip another plane on the tarmac. In fact, there's a video of it right here. It's unbelievable. In case you missed this morning's video, look at this. Plane coming in for a landing right there. Are you serious? That's terrible. And then right here, the plane turned into a giant fireball on the tarmac. I mean, I was just absolutely mystified when I saw that. And this is one of many landings that occur at this airport on a daily basis. There's hundreds of airplanes that come in and out of here. It's over in Tokyo all day long. Clipped an airplane that was sitting right in there. It's difficult to see, but it ran into a Coast Guard airplane. And unfortunately, the people on the Coast Guard plane, there were some casualties. The people on the plane that was landing, that plane right there, this one here, everybody survived, thankfully. So, but still a very unusual situation. Ken W, the drop box isn't working. I don't know why. Let's just check it. I'm going to check on something real quick, guys. Bear with me. Someone's trying to send me a video to the Dropbox, and they said it wasn't working or giving them issues. Here's what you do. If you guys have a video you'd like to share, and it's a big video or a small video, either way, come over here to the homepage of the website. If you're a new viewer, this website here, there's a lot of information here. If you'd like to learn about the sun and the moon and keep up with Yellowstone and power outages and things like that, this is your place to go, MrMBB333.com. These are things that I followed for years, just a tip of the iceberg, but it's a good starting place. But let's see, if you have a large video you'd like to share, see this red box, have a large video, click on it. I'll show you. It's a Dropbox. It opened up. So what you do is just drag and drop your video right there where it says add files, and then click send, and I'll get it right over there on that computer. There's a computer sitting right over there that I check Dropbox every single morning. So you can drag and drop videos, you can drag and drop pictures. The only thing I do ask, if you do share something, is please include your first name. You can submit your last name if you wish, that's fine. But at minimum, your first name, date, and the location. That'd be great. Ken, it looks like it's working. Maybe give it a try again if you have time. But I got a lot of things to share with you guys in this video, but I wanted to touch base briefly on that again. Following the very large earthquake in Japan, they had a tragic airplane incident near Tokyo. Just not a good start to 2024 over here in Japan. Here's what happened. The 7.5, 24 hours later, on the east side of Japan, the airplane incident, all of that taking place in less than 24 hours. Unbelievable. Guys, in this video, I have multiple videos to share with you guys, and I'm going to try to share a drone video. This is no ordinary drone video, but it's kind of long. So what I might do with this video here, sent it by Jeremy Fink out of Seattle. It's really super cool, but it's about 8 minutes long. I may upload it and you can watch it if you wish. It's super, super cool. It's a firework display in Seattle, and some of you may have already seen this. I don't know. I've never seen one quite like this. It's actually quite fascinating. They did an excellent job. We'll come back and take a look at that later. But it's 8 minutes long. It's just one of the coolest drone videos I think I've ever seen. I want to touch base on this real quick while we're here. You're looking at the polar vortex. We've been talking about the polar vortex and how it's been maintaining its stability at in the Arctic Circle. Well, guess what? It's split. Now we have dual polar vortexes. Dual PVs is what they call them. So what this means is this, that there's warm air penetrating the Arctic Circle. And what's going to happen is this warm air is penetrating the polar vortex. So the polar vortex, which contains the really super cold air that creates winter that we know in the northern hemisphere, this cold air is going to start to wander. And it's going to wander down into the lower latitudes. So expect cooler temperatures in the month of January. Right now, the polar vortex over on the United States side is still kind of tucked up in far northern Canada. But as you can see, in northern Europe, it's probably going to start getting very cold because the polar vortex is being disrupted. And that's what's happening at the top of the world. That's why you see two. We have a dual polar vortex going on right now. And that's because there's, again, warm air penetrating what was a single nice uniform polar vortex that was keeping the cold air up there. That's why the winter has been so mild so far. That's why most of you didn't have snow this winter, because the polar vortex was staying put in the Arctic Circle. But look for that to change, because it's changing. So it's going to bring cold air down into the lower latitudes. You guys want to see a cool jet? Check this out, man. I mean, this is wild. You don't see these very often. And this video is very unique, one of a kind, could be the only kind of its kind. It was taken yesterday. Who sent this in just about 24 hours ago? Mark A. Mark, I'm not sure of the location, and you know what? That's okay. It really doesn't matter. This video is super cool. Check this out. Here we go. Watch this. It'll be coming into the field of view right there. Check it out. At first, I thought this was some sort of a saucer or a disc. Check it out. Oh, my. Wow. Are you serious? He said, man, that was awesome. You don't see those very often, and I'm not sure that maybe it's just a practice run. Let's hope that they're just out practicing or whatever. But it's not very often that you look up and see one of those that close flying right over your community. I've never seen one fly over my community. Get a load of that thing. Wow. Incredible video by Mark A. And if I had to take a guess, where this was filmed, I would say Missouri, but I don't know. I can't confirm that, but possibly Missouri, but I don't know. But boy, that's something you don't see every day. Wow, wow. Thank you for the video footage, Mark. Really do appreciate that. And while I'm here, while I'm thinking about it, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell. I still get messages and email from people saying that they were unsubscribed for whatever reasons. I don't have any control over that. So if you're a new viewer, click on the subscribe button and the bell if you want notified when I do videos in the future. If you're a current subscriber, you might double check and make sure you're still subscribed, because sometimes that happens. It's happened to me. So, it's not a big deal. It's just simply something that you can correct. Go over and look at it and see if you're still subscribed. And if not, resubscribe if you want to. Just something that I wanted to mention to you guys while I was thinking about it. Something here that I noticed too, that's a rather rare start to 2024. In case you missed this morning's video, I did a video earlier this morning, just like a little 5-minute video of things that are going on. And this was one of the things that I mentioned in this morning's video. Again, 2024 is starting off, kind of teeter-tottery here. A lot going on over in Japan. And look what happened here on January the 2nd. We're 48 hours into 2024. We've got an earthquake near Cleveland. We've got an earthquake. I think this was felt by somebody in the comment section. They mentioned earlier they felt an earthquake. There it is right there near Washington, D.C., and there was also an earthquake near New York. The ones in red, I made those red because those are all today. The ones in orange were from a couple of days ago, just before 2024. The red ones today, and I had somebody say that they felt the earthquake in Maryland. Did anybody else feel the earthquake? It wasn't a massive earthquake, thankfully, but it was strong enough to feel. What's going on, guys? They are at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. Thank you, Missing You. So my guess may have been correct. It may have been out of Missouri. An SR-71. What's up, T. Kerr out of Ireland? And Mott out of Michigan. You notice how you couldn't see the heat coming off the engines? Jonathan Earl, good observation, man. I didn't notice any heat coming off of any part of it. Thank you, Mr. C. I appreciate you. Hello, Donut. Josie Wales, time catching up. There's my moderator. Please like and subscribe. That's true. If you don't mind and it's not too much trouble, click the like button if you like the video. If not, don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, that was a fascinating video about that airplane. But 3 earthquakes right here in this little area, spanning from Ohio over into Maryland to New York, January 2nd, and all of those earthquakes, they weren't necessarily not one right after the other. They were about 10 hours apart, but they all occurred today on January 2nd of 2024. So not big earthquakes, but big enough to be felt. And I think somebody, that's why I keep looking over here in the comment section. I have the comment section over here. Hi, Michael from Mississippi. What's going on in the Pasadena Rose Bowl? Boston, what's going on, guys? What's going on? David Dewey, I get good photos from David. And David, I'm sharing one of your photos today, man, from Alaska. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to get right to it. You know it. David Dewey's in the chat room. Christopher Gebhardt, new star member. Speaking of star members, let's give a shout out to the newest star members. Right on. Steve C., new star family member. Brandy Maxwell, new star family member. Cynthia Souter and Mrs. J.R. Ewing in the house. New star members. If you guys would be interested in becoming star members, you can find the link to do so down below in the description box. Thank you in advance, and thank you guys for becoming star family members. All right, guys, here we go. Check this out. Yeah, this is wild. 2 different people. David, here we go, man. 2 different people saw this. David, you saw it, and you know what I'm getting ready to talk about. Where's that? Here it is right here. Okay, I keep the videos up here so it's a little more organized, and they're easier for me to see when I'm sharing them with you guys. So we are going to Alaska, and we're going to Oklahoma. The video footage you're about to see are 72 hours apart. They were in December 26th and December 29th. These people don't know each other. David Dewey, who's in the chat room from from Alaska saw this, what you're about to see in the daytime sky. Hello, MS. How's it going, guys? Here we go. Check this out. This is super cool. Unique footage that you'll only see here on this channel. You won't see it anywhere else. This stuff is super unique by unique people that had an extraordinary experience and shared it with me. I'm sharing it with you. December 26th of 2023. We hadn't got to 2024 yet. So this is from a few days ago. Photos sent in by Mr. David Dewey out of Alaska. Look what he saw up in the sky. That almost looks like it's out of focus, like maybe there's some energy or something around it. Just so happens to be, it's nearly perfectly round. No other clouds in the sky anywhere except that one, right? December 26th of 2023. I've got another one that I want to show you guys. 3 days later in a different part of the world. Almost looks like, it looks very similar to what David saw here in Alaska. So David shared 3 photos with me of this thing. I zoom in. I don't do too much to the photo. Obviously, it speaks for itself. You can see why he took the photo of the sky. This thing just looked totally out of place. Right here, I simply inverted the format, trying to pull forward any possible features. Still looks obviously round. Looks like it might be shiny right there. Where it's the darker black means it's putting off more light. It's more luminous in that particular part of the sphere, spheroid, whatever you want to call it. But there were no other clouds in the sky, and this thing here almost seems to be radiating. Unlike the airplane that we just saw, we couldn't even see heat coming off the airplane. This almost looks like it's radiating some form of maybe radiation. I have no idea, but it definitely looks out of place. Definitely doesn't look like an ordinary cloud. This, again, is just a different format of the original video photo that David shared with me. This is photo number 2. And again, you can see the round structure in the daytime sky that looks semi-transparent. Almost invisible, but not quite. You can see the luminosity across the upper half of this thing. Whatever it may be, not claiming to know, it just looks out of place. That's all. It doesn't look like a random cloud in the sky, right? This is from Alaska, and this here is another enhanced format of photo number 2. These are all enhanced, just very slightly, just trying to look for any possible new features. Going from December 26th to December 29th, 72 hours later, we're going to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Here we go. Renee, December 29th. Obviously, this was in the daytime, much like David's experience in the daytime. This was visible in the sky from northwest Oklahoma City. And this is what compelled her to take the photos of the sky. You don't see any other random clouds, maybe a few way off in the distance, but you can see there was what looks like an attempt to maybe hide something in the sky, right? But whatever it did, it seemed like it attracted the clouds, and you can see a nice arc over here on the left, and you can see a nice arc over here on the right. Both those arcs completing almost what looks like a planetary body in the daytime sky. Second person in 72 hours that saw this thing, and there could have been more. These are just the ones that we know of. And David saw something similar to this in Alaska. He was not aware that this was going to show up, something like this was going to show up in Oklahoma. But there was something there, and it looks like there was an attempt to maybe camouflage it or whatever, and they ended up almost kind of highlighting something in the sky. Those clouds definitely do not look normal. They don't look natural, right? You can see something round in the sky, something that appears to be round, and that's what compelled Renee and David to take the photos of the sky. How wild is that? And again, like in this photo here, you don't hardly see any other cloud activity in the sky, but you see there was activity here that just kind of went into a nice round formation in the sky. Like there was something, an invisible energy there, and the water vapor was reacting to this invisible energy. Here you go. Check that out. Whatever it was, if it was anything, it was pretty good size. I think there was something there. I think there was something there that was invisible. It was a form of energy. The water molecules were reacting to this form of energy. It could have been some sort of invisible plasma that was up there in the sky. And the water molecules were trying to show us, say, hey, look up here. Renee saw it, so she started taking pictures. And these molecules were attracted to this invisible energy. Maybe some sort of a plasma field that was in the sky on this day. Maybe it was a plasma field in Alaska on the 26th that David saw. And it formed a round sphere in the sky that otherwise would have been invisible. You wouldn't have been able to see it. But thanks to the water molecules, you could. Here we go, side by side. Alaska on the left and Oklahoma City on the right. They just don't look like natural, random, everyday, ordinary, run-of-the-mill clouds because they're not. That's some sort of an energy field. You can almost see energy on David's photo out of Alaska. You can see it kind of radiating out from the center of the spheroid-like object. The one over on the right from Oklahoma City, it too looks like it could have been a form of energy that otherwise would have been invisible in the daytime sky. But we can thank the water molecules in the sky that day in that specific location that outlined something quite nice for Renee to take a photo of. So great job, Renee, and great job, David, out of Oklahoma City and Alaska. Great job. Got more to share, guys. Got a lot more, in fact. Speaking of weird skies, look at this sky here out of Chicago. Just got this video footage sent in by Lauren. Not anything nefarious, but just kind of weird. There's no spheres here or anything like that, but the clouds got a big old dark shadow on the back of it. It just looked weird. That's obviously why she took the photo of the ominous looking sky. But again, it was just temporary. It faded away, but that's a big old like shelf cloud or something in the Chicago area just a few days ago. Meteors. I got meteors to share with you guys. Two meteors, one out of Florida by Ken Garton, Trenton, Florida. Watch over here on the left-hand side of the screen. I put it in super slow motion because this thing was super fast, moving at probably 60,000 miles per hour when it entered the atmosphere. This is slowed down like 50 times just to get a brief view of this thing. Small meteorite, once it enters the atmosphere, it's a meteor on the outside of the atmosphere, becomes meteorite when it enters the atmosphere, changes names and changes composition or changes its physical structure that usually break. Check this one out. This was caught on Tom's outdoor security camera, and it detected light activity way off in the distance over here. This too is a meteor. Unlike the first one we just saw by Ken out of Florida, this one here is super slow. Check this out. But you can see it behind the trees. It's going down at a fairly steep angle, but not super steep. That's why it stayed in the field of view for so long. Here I zoom in. Very bright light as it's interacting with the atmosphere, making its way in. That one there was pretty good size. That was a decent sized meteor that was picked up by Tom and Ken. I don't know where Tom's location is. I know Ken's out of the Florida Panhandle, and he is always capturing meteors in the nighttime sky all the time. Here's a look at the buoys. The buoys were rocking and rolling yesterday, especially over here in the Western Pacific. But once they do go in event mode following a large earthquake, or for whatever reason, they stay in event mode for 24 hours. That 24-hour window has come and gone. So the buoys are back quiet. There's not much going on in any of the oceans with regard to tsunamis or anything like that. No large earthquakes today. But if we have more large solar flares, then we can obviously expect more earthquakes. Absolutely. And we are just now getting warmed up. Have you guys ever seen this? I'm going to switch gears here a little bit. Just something kind of weird. This was a video that was sent in by Brad Benner from December 31st, just a little over 2 days ago. You guys ever seen the snow when it comes down out of the sky? It looks like little blades of grass. I had somebody send me a video a few years ago. The snow was landing on their coat, just like Brad's here, and looked like blades of grass, right? Not like a traditional snowflake. Well, there's an explanation for that. And it's not anything nefarious. There is an explanation for that. But when Brad saw this and it was landing on his dark sleeved jacket, obviously the snow, the contrast, it revealed the strange shape of the snow that was falling from the sky. Looked like little blades of grass, little columns falling out of the sky, right? What there is an explanation for that. And because he said they don't look like snowflakes, and they don't look like snowflakes. They absolutely 100% don't. The reason they don't look like snowflakes is because of the atmospheric conditions. And those snowflakes look like needles. I call them blades of grass. They look like columns. They're actually identified as columns in the scientific community. And it's because of the atmospheric temperature. The atmospheric temperature was not super cold. Because the Arctic air has been corralled at the top of the Earth, thanks to the polar vortex has been behaving this winter and hasn't been wandering too far down the latitudes, making it super freezing cold, because the polar vortex has been very cold this year, all right? Well, since the polar vortex has been staying at the higher latitudes, down in the lower latitudes, when it does get cold enough to snow, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes the snow forms as a needle or a column, and it doesn't form like a traditional snowflake. So that the temperature is what influences that, and the temperature has to be just right for snowflakes to form like dendrites that we all know. We've all seen snowflakes like that. In fact, we all used to make them in school. You know, that was a little project we had when we fold up a piece of paper and then cut little wedges out of the piece of paper and open it up, and you'd have a snowflake. Well, that's not how snowflakes are made, but they're determined by the temperature in the upper atmosphere and how much water saturation is in the atmosphere. But on that day, there was cold air, just the right amount of cold air, and just the right amount of moisture to form what looked like, I call them little blades of grass falling from the sky. And that's how they form when the temperatures are at a specified temperature. When it gets super cold, as we're going to see here probably in the next couple of weeks, as here's Null School. If you guys have never used Null School, it's a wealth of information if you want to study the Earth and the many layers of the atmospheres of the Earth. Like the sun has many layers to its atmosphere. The Earth also has many layers of atmosphere. They're identical in that regard. However, the layers of atmosphere on the Earth serve a different purpose. They have a different job. The layers on the sun also have a different job. But there are many layers, just like on the Earth. The Earth has a very hot inner core. Coincidentally, the sun does too. Makes you wonder, right? What's up, Team Alaska? Very interesting. Sleet. I call it snowing grass, white grass. MrMBB, that's BS. Please catch Windy Joe. That's been around as long as time. Windy Joe. The entire winter was a blizzard in 1996. You know, I grew up in the snow. I've seen that type of snow before. I didn't know what caused it, but it's actually temperature. Windy Joe, don't you know, Windy Joe? What's going on, Susan Donahue? I suspect common shapes in nature reflect the resident frequency. You got it, the Fibonacci spiral. What instigates the Fibonacci spiral? Speaking of, you want to talk about shapes, you can see the Fibonacci spiral in a lot of different places if you look. And you guys know what I'm talking about, because I know you're the smartest people on Earth over here. Lots of snowflakes here. Mystical rock hounding. You know what? Rock hound. I got some rocks right here. Mystical rock. That's a mystical rock right there. See it? Mystical rock. survived the blizzard of 65. I don't remember that, tiny man. Hello, everyone from North Carolina. I survived the Texas deep freeze. YouTuber Catfish Corner explains what's happening. Wait a minute. Boy, this thing is moving exponentially fast. Okay, well, we'll just let her go. Great point. Yes, the Fibonacci can be found in a lot of places. Yes, it's true. The Fibonacci, they call it the Fibonacci spiral. Great point. Yes, the Fibonacci. Have you ever seen the snowflakes that look like styrofoam? Yeah, I actually have. There's a name for it. It's called, is it called Pete? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Fibonacci is everywhere, Mr. Nolan. You are correct, sir. What's the snow that looks like styrofoam balls? Help me out here. Come on, you're the smartest people in the world. I know you are. I usually get this stuff in a second. Yeah, nice labradorite, Renee Perry. See, I knew somebody would get it. You guys don't miss a trick, man. I think it's called Pete, right? Labradorite. You're right, Renee. And guess where it's from? Madagascar. One of my favorite places on earth. The Fibonacci spiral is in everything. God mathematics. Very true. Look at you guys go. All right. Grapple. Mama Llama, you got it. Mama Llama, yep, Mama Llama, you got it. Grapple is the snow that looks like and feels like real light um, styrofoam. Yes, you're correct. Grapple indeed. Yes, ma'am. Good job. Okay, back to the videos. I got more videos to share with you guys. Here we go. I'm going to take you to different places and share different things. I get videos from people all the time. I want to share this drone one. Maybe I can play this thing down in the corner. I just don't want to sit here for 8 minutes. I'm just being honest with you. Maybe here's what I could do. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but maybe I'll upload it and maybe I'll upload it as an unlisted video. And if you guys just come to my channel, you'll be able to see it. Hopefully you can see this here, and I'm not quite sure how well it's going to turn out, but I'll let it play and continue to talk. I have some other things that I want to share with you guys. But this is a real cool video of a fireworks show from New Year's Eve from Seattle. I'm assuming that's Seattle because that's Space Needle. And this fireworks show, I zoom in here so you can get a little better look at it. Was put on by drones up here, making all these incredible shapes in the sky. I mean, it's really, really cool. Shane, Jonathan, what's going on, guys? Derek McCoy from Manchester, labradorite. Labradorite can be found in many places. That's true. That's true. But where I got this at, they told me it was from Madagascar. So I got that from a modern day Indiana Jones. He's been around the world and back collecting rocks from all around the world. He's done it his whole life. He's a really cool guy. Grapple, little tiny snowballs, S oak, correct. Yeah, they do look like that. They're like little balls of styrofoam or whatever. But the video you're seeing up here in the upper right hand corner is a fireworks show put on by drones. Look at that. They're like a UFO going into the galaxy there. All the stars. Earth is hiding behind the glasses. Tiny or Trudy Butcher. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. That's what's called a dual polar vortex, and it's going to start getting cold, guys, because that cold air now is going to start to wander around the earth. Just had a 2.5 earthquake in Derby, UK. Really? An earthquake in the United Kingdom? Are you serious? Hey, from Poland. Hey, what's up, Rico? Here, I'll pull this out a little farther. You guys like that? Here you go. I'm going to let this play then, and you guys seem to be enjoying this. I'm going to just let it play. It's 8 minutes, so look at that. What is that, an astronaut or something? Drones did that. Are you serious? Drones, yeah. What's up, Dave Jones? Hey, everybody. Jane Wick, Sherry, Mara, Carmela. What's up, Mara? Trudy Butcher. Wow, that's the thousandth. The attractor. There was a portal near Switzerland last week. Well, I'd like to see that. I don't doubt it though. Derby, UK. I know Autumn Wolf. An earthquake in Derby, United Kingdom. Are you serious? Tokyo earthquake. Jane Wick, Tennessee. Yeah, I know that's a wild place for an earthquake over in Derby, United Kingdom. Good grief. Tammy Turner, what's going on, guys? Legendary. Have you zoomed into coordinates 89, 26, 70 yet? The anomaly is still there. I will. 89, 26. I'll check it out. Tammy Atkins, we dropped the ball. Howdy from North Dakota. Life's happening. Hey, Corey, what's up? You're welcome, Corey. I got some more stuff to share with you guys, so don't go nowhere. We're getting this. I've got more videos from Chesapeake, Virginia. I've got a video of a UFO almost colliding with a hawk. Look here. Look what this turned into. This is like the most cool part. Check it out. A drone did that, or a collection of drones did that. There's the Earth rotating in the sky on New Year's Eve. How about that? That is really cool. Awesome video there by Mr. Jeremy Fink out of Seattle, Washington. All right, guys, here we go. You're going to see in this video some exclusive video footage, once again, that you won't see anywhere else. So if you like unique, rare video footage, make sure you subscribe and click that bell, because this is the only place you're going to see this type of video footage. Hold on 1 second. I apologize. Yeah, the earthquake in the UK. Here we go. Mr. Chip Snyder, December 20th of 2023, 9:42 a.m. Keep an eye on the hawk. I believe this is a hawk. It almost gets clipped by something. Check it out. That's not a bird. This is in like 50 times slow motion. That's how fast this thing was moving through the sky. Are you serious? Look at that thing. No wings flapping. I've done this 1,000 times. Those wings would have flapped if it were a bird or another bird. You would have seen the wings flapping already multiple times just in these two frames. At that speed, there's no way it was gliding without flapping its wings at that speed. It would have dove, like it would have been diving down. It would have been using gravity as an influencer to help it go fast. This is going horizontal, which tells us that more than likely this has its own propulsion system, whatever this was. Nearly, look at that, flew right above the hawk. Here it is again in ultra slow motion. I mean, you can tell by how slow that hawk is moving. It's nearly stationary. That's how slow I had to put this video in order to get at least a decent look at this, what looks like a dark rod moving through the sky. Look, the hawk barely moves. Did you notice that? Watch. The hawk barely moves, and the hawk is flying through the sky. The hawk is moving, but it barely moves in the video. That tells you how slow I've got this video. So that tells you how fast that thing was moving. Blink of an eye, it was through the field of view. And it's up in the sky. It's not close range. It's up in the sky. Appears to be above the hawk. Check it out. Definitely above the hawk. Right there. Okay. How do you explain that? Talk to me, Craig. A. Ventura, Introverse. What's going on here? Tracy from Liverpool, United Kingdom. How do you explain that? Mr. C, 2,000 miles an hour. I would not doubt it. Slingshot, Tic Tac, Black Tic Tac. Just a cruise missile. Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos with a lot of anomalies. Most of the time, especially on a video like this, I can analyze it close enough and slow it down enough to where I can see wings moving. I just did it the other day. It was a really cool video, and I almost had it ready for to show you guys. But trust me, before I show you guys, I go over it with a fine tooth comb because I know you guys will see something that shouldn't be there. So no, if I show you something, trust me, I've gone over it many times. I kept waiting for this one to show wings. No wings. Never did. I kept slowing it down. I had to slow this down so much just to even see it myself. But this was an unbelievable capture by Chip Snyder. I've got another video by Chip Snyder that I'm currently working on of a cool object in the daytime sky. But that was moving so incredibly fast. And keep in mind, the hawk is moving. That thing went by the hawk like the hawk was sitting still in the sky. Here it is coming up behind the hawk. Again, the hawk's moving, but it doesn't look like it. That thing went by the hawk like that. Unbelievable. Here I zoom in. I slowed it down even more. Looks like the hawk is sitting still. And there it goes. That is a great video by Chip. Thank you, Chip. Really appreciate that. And I'm also working on yet another video by Chip Snyder, who captured another cool object in the daytime sky. He wasn't out looking for anything. He just happened to be in the right place at the right time, looked up, and he's observant. He saw something, and like all of us have the ability to get out your high definition recording device and start recording. I got more videos, guys, so don't go nowhere. Here we go. I'll show you the meteors in Chicago. The snow. Oh, let's go to Chesapeake, Virginia. Check this out. Here we go. Chesapeake, Virginia video. I just got this video. In fact, I think I just got it either today or I think it was today because the video is from yesterday. January 1st of 2024, Angelo looked up and saw this in the sky, and I've looked at this again several times. I've zoomed in, slowed it down, used different formats. It's, in my humble opinion, these are not lights from the ground. They go behind the tree, then they back up, and they flash really quick. It's almost like they're phasing in and out, like it's some sort of a triangle craft in the sky that's going through some sort of maneuver. It's from Chesapeake, Virginia. It also has narration. Here we go. Angelo. So he's got a witness. He had his friend come out and look because he was mystified at what he was seeing right there. See them flickering? It's like they're part of something up in the sky. It appeared to be almost a light blue. They're in triangle shape. This is just a different format. And he's got his friend out there like, hey, I want you to be my witness. What's going on here? They didn't know what was going on. This is just a different format. That's why it's a different color. I was trying to pull forward any possible features of whatever this was in the sky above Chesapeake, Virginia. And this is less than 24 hours old. All right, there it is in the sky last night above Chesapeake, Virginia. And again, to me, the way I see that, because I've seen the triangle crafts in the sky, I've seen the lights on the three corners, I've seen the lights in the middle of the craft, even though it was very quick, saw long enough to identify it as a triangle craft. So I know they're real. So when I see something like that, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that's not what that was. It came from the right went to the left, went behind the tree, and then backed up and revealed itself once again, kind of phasing on and off like it was doing like maybe a test mission or something, test flight from Chesapeake, Virginia. That was last night on January 1st of 2023. Photo here by our friend Nelson Jenks saw this in the sky from Greensboro, North Carolina. He's looking west, Christmas Eve. This was in the morning. Not an airplane, not a helicopter. Some sort of a weird object in the sky early in the morning as the sun was coming up. This was in the west sky. Greensboro, North Carolina. Pretty good size, whatever it may be or was. Nelson saw that from Greensboro, North Carolina on Christmas Eve, the morning of Christmas Eve, some sort of mysterious object once again in the sky above planet Earth. And speaking of mysteries in the sky, we're 96 days away from possibly one of the greatest solar eclipses of all time about to occur on April 8th of 2024. We're going to be in the path of totality somewhere in this area here, wherever it's the least cloudy on April 8th of 2024. We'll have to wait until probably 10 days away from the actual date to get a decent forecast. Obviously, it's too early to get a good forecast now, but 96 days away from the solar eclipse of 2024. We're in 2024, and we're waiting on the arrival of this ancient time traveler, this comet that's going to join the sun during the eclipse. I mean, how cool is that? This comet's been putting on a show for astronomers. The men that have been following this thing with the big telescopes, they can zoom in on it. Every once in a while, this thing will have an outburst, a volcanic outburst of they say it's ice volcanoes. And it'll look like it has wings, or some describe it as having horns or wings. It could potentially do that on the day of the eclipse, and we could potentially see something in the sky on the day of the eclipse that looks like this near the sun. So when I say this could potentially be at least one of the most photogenic solar eclipses ever, there's why. It's going to be joined by, once the sky starts to turn dark right in the middle of the total solar eclipse, that's going to appear in the sky. It could look exactly like that, even more dramatic. May have wings that come out the sides. It depends on if the volcanoes on this comet, that's the size of Houston, Texas, decide to start streaming whatever it streams, volcanic gas, they're ice volcanoes, but that is what's coming towards the Earth, and it is 96 days away from being visible in the daytime sky above North America. Are you serious? You can't make this stuff up. And again, I'm surprised that they haven't made a movie about this already. Maybe they're going to, after it happens, they're going to wait and see how dramatic it is. But it could be one of the coolest ever, I think. Again, we're going to be in one of these locations. The path of totality is going through the state of Texas, again, just like it did in October. It's going through southeastern Oklahoma. It's going through Arkansas, going through southeastern Missouri, far northwestern Kentucky, far southeastern Illinois, right through the middle of Indiana, through northern Ohio, going through far northern Pennsylvania, going through most of the northern half of New York, all of northern Vermont, all of northern New Hampshire, and most of northern Maine through north central Maine. Also will be visible in New Brunswick, up in Newfoundland, parts of Nova Scotia, Montreal. You're going to be in the path of totality. Rochester, Buffalo, Cleveland, where there was an earthquake today, a small earthquake, but nevertheless there was an earthquake in the vicinity of Cleveland. It's like there was an earthquake just over in in the United Kingdom. Are you kidding me? An earthquake in the United Kingdom? How does that happen? Since when do we have earthquakes in the United Kingdom? Nuts. I'm telling you, it's nuts. All right. What else we got here? I got the hawk. I got the jet. I'll show the jet one more time. Oh, Queensland. Now we're going down to Australia. Something weird in the sky. I get videos like this all the time, guys. I've got folder after folder after folder of mysterious sightings in the night, daytime sky. Video here sent in by New Jersey Kim from Queensland, Australia, December 17th, 2023, when she looked up and saw this in the nighttime sky from Queensland. Over on the right is the original vertical video. Over on the left, I zoomed in for presentation purposes, trying to get a better look at whatever it was that New Jersey Kim saw in the sky from Queensland, Australia. There you go. Something kind of zigzagging back and forth, almost looks like it has a tail, but that doesn't necessarily mean it does. Don't know. Just something weird that kind of goes behind the tree out of her field of view. It was still up in the sky. She just couldn't see it because of the big tree. And here I put it in fast forward just for presentation purposes. This thing was moving pretty quick anyway. Sometimes when you change the speed, you can see these things a little bit better. Sometimes when you slow them down, you can see them a little bit better. Just like the video with the hawk in the sky. I had that video slowed down. I don't even know how slow I had to take it. I had to build a video and put it in slow motion 8 times. Download it, re-upload it into the editor, and then put it in slow motion again 8 more times. Download it, put it on the desktop, put it back in the editor, and slow it down 8 more times. Unbelievable. Just to get zoomed in on that rod. And then by the time I got it so slow, it looked like the hawk was just sitting still in the sky. And the hawk was moving, but it didn't look like it in the video. Unreal. Speaking of unreal, how often do you look? And I agree. And someone in the chat room, I think they're correct. They said more than likely this was spotted actually yesterday, January 1st. One more look in case you missed it. One more look. How would you like to look up and see this flying over your house? Wow. Team Alaska. It was a blizzard, not hawk. Anyone? Oh, on Yellowstone? I'll show you Yellowstone intraverse. Check out that. How would you like to step outside? That thing couldn't have been more than, wow, I would say that was probably less than 5,000 feet because it had probably just taken off from wherever it was at. 5,000 feet in the sky? Are you serious? Man. And I've seen video footage, obviously like this one here. I've seen video footage of like 3 or 4 of them moving through the sky at one time, traveling together. I've never seen one like this up this close. This was exceptional video footage. Look at that. There it is. Wow. Wow. I don't know. I've always, you know what? Since I was a little kid, I'll share something with you. That was awesome. You know what? I agree. That was awesome. Ever since I was a little kid, I always had a fascination with airplanes and how such a big airplane, a big structure could just lift up so effortlessly off the ground and carry 200 people and all their luggage and all the fuel and all the weight. And they could just fly, you know. I wanted to be a pilot. Came this close from being a pilot. Our friend Mustang 68, if he's in here today, he was a pilot for 20 years. Can you imagine the things that Mustang must have seen? Lori Rose, what's up, Lori? A Northrop B2 Spirit. Look at you. You know your planes, right? Yeah, a B2 Stealth. Is there sound? Mods Mayhem? You know what? There was. There was a little bit, not much. It was actually kind of quiet. Check it out. I've got the volume turned all the way up. Here, I'll play it again. Here we go. Check it out. A little bit of sound, not much. Man, that thing's low. That's not even 5,000 feet off the ground. Here comes the sound here. Definitely sound. Wow. Yeah, there was sound. And he said, man, that was awesome. That was awesome. And if you notice, there was a small white light on the far tip of um, each wing. Very, very cool stuff. Very cool. Great video, Mark. I appreciate you sharing. Once again, guys, we were talking at the beginning of the video what's going on with the Earth at the top of the world. Why are there two big circles rotating? We now have a dual polar vortex instead of one. That means the cold air is starting to wander and it's going to make its way down into the lower latitudes. And this warm air that we've been feeling in Arizona is normal, but where you guys normally in Chicago, like the other day, it was 53 degrees in late December. Well, it's going to start getting cold, guys, because the polar vortex is being invaded by warm air, and the warm air is going to cause the cold air to move around and into the lower latitudes. It's going to start getting cold. So if you like cold air, it is on its way. Here's a look at Yellowstone. I had a request for the super volcano data, and not too much going on today at the mighty super volcano. A little bit of earthquake activity at Mammoth Vault. The same thing over at Grayling, Maple, Madison, West Boundary. A little bit of action over there, but nothing major. And we don't want to see anything major, but we keep an eye on the pulse of the Yellowstone supervolcano, because if we start seeing activity over here, then we know the volcano might become active, following any activity we see. That's why we follow it. That's all. Also have a large CME that should be interacting with the Earth. To be quite honest, anytime. Are you guys seeing auroras in the northern latitudes? The energy should be here, guys. No joke. Right there. We're right on the edge. It should be here. Should have already been here. Let's go over space weather and see what the auroral oval looks like. Let's freshen the page, refresh it. Just had an M1. Not yet. They saw some auroras in Norway, but I think that was because, no, it's north. Um, Not yet. Okay, let's look at the planet of the X-ray flux. Just had an M1 solar flare, so that region right here might become hyperactive. It's already lit off an X5 solar flare. So this region here, it's an anomaly. Also, the magnetic polarity is kind of reversed on this thing. That's what caused the huge X-class solar flare yesterday. There could be more. So we're watching that super close as this turns towards the Earth. It's getting closer and closer, and I think there's a bigger component to all of this behind that. So we'll have to wait and see. So we could see more solar activity in the coming days. And if we do see large solar flares, you know what that means. We could see more large earthquake activity somewhere around the world. So we watch the buoys, we watch the earthquake activity following any large solar activity. So look for it to get cold, guys. The polar vortex split in two. We now have a dual polar vortex. That's why it looks like that. It's going to get cold. Probably already is in northern Europe, and that cold air will be making its way down here into the northern plains of the United States and Canada. Our friends in Newfoundland and Ottawa, Nova Scotia, Calgary, Vancouver, Denver, Toronto, Milwaukee. It's going to start getting cold here, guys, sometime probably within the next couple of weeks. So get your winter gear out and get ready. It's going to get cold. All right, guys. That's all I got for today. Showed you guys all the drone video footage. I do have a video sent in by Carlos Skywatcher of that sunspot right there. Carlos zoomed in on it. He even put an arrow in his video right here, pointing out the very large sunspot that was visible from his location over in Portugal, behind the cloud cover. That's how big, and this sunspot is not only big, it's active, and its magnetic polarity is backwards. So this thing might be full of surprises. We will just have to wait and see what it brings here in the next few days. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. If you have any videos you'd like to share that are too large to attach to the email, come over here to the homepage of the website, look for the red banner that says, have a large video. It's a Dropbox. Drag and drop your video into the Dropbox. Please include your first name, date, and location, and I'll take it from there. Cynthia Graves, thank you so much. That's very kind. I do appreciate that greatly. I thank you all. And if you want to become a Star Family member, you can do so at the link down below in the description box. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.